Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you 7 easy keto diet breakfast ideas. Now I know I've shared a few of these videos in the past on my channel, but today is all about indulgent, incredible breakfasts which I have when I feel like treating myself. So the past week I have gone through the tough struggle of having my favorite breakfasts every single day and rotating through them, and yes, they all include eggs. I have included breakfast in the past a whole week without eggs, which I'll leave down below and in the information cards too for you, but these breakfasts are my absolute favorite indulgent breakfasts, and I usually do have eggs for breakfast, but not always. So yeah, I look forward to sharing this video with you, and I've also written a full blog post. It is a mammoth blog post, over 1,000 words, of all of these breakfast step-by-step instructions, photos, everything that you need. So I'll leave that link down below, which you can pin, bookmark, save for whenever you want indulgent, amazing keto breakfast inspiration. And make sure that you leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and comment too. Let me know your favorite go-to indulgent keto breakfast. I look forward to reading your comments. So let's get straight into it with easy keto breakfast number 1. For my first breakfast, I'm going to make a cauliflower rice breakfast bowl, and I'm just going to rice the cauliflower by grating it in a grater over here with a grater over there. I've got my eggs laid out. I'm not going to use all of them, but I've got them all ready, and I'm going to use mushroom because I love mushroom cauliflower. It's just so beautiful together. You can use any other vegetable you like to make your breakfast bowl, but I'm just going to get on and rice my cauliflower. I've grated all that cauliflower. You can see it looks like rice. It really does. Just grating the cauliflower. You could use a food processor if you want instead, but all I've got to clean up now is my grater, which kind of easier than a food processor in my opinion. Now I've chopped up all those mushrooms, and you could also use onion, garlic, any other flavoring seasoning you want, because these two ingredients definitely need a bit of help in the flavor department. I've got the butter melting under there. I've added in the mushrooms, and I've also added in a couple of very roughly chopped garlic cloves. I love it with some garlic. And we're just going to let this saute and reduce down, adding more butter as we go, because that's how we bring up the fat content, by just cooking it in butter and adding more butter and more, so it's nice and buttery and just beautiful and low carb and high fat. The mushrooms are reduced down and nice and buttery, so we're going to add in our cauliflower rice now. The cauliflower rice is in. It really doesn't need much time to cook. Just toss it all around, add more butter. You can add salt, pepper, seasoning. You could add a little bit of cream or some stock, or even just a bit of water if you think it is drying out and needs a little bit of liquid. But remember, we're going to top it with an egg at the end, so that'll create a lovely almost sauce. That's looking pretty perfect if you can see it through the steam. I am happy with that. You don't want it to be too soggy, you just want it nice and cooked through, still a little bit of bite and crisp to it. So let's move them into bowls. Okay, I've got my cauliflower rice with mushroom in bowls. You could really just enjoy this as a risotto and top it with some parmesan or cheese, and it makes a yum mushroom risotto. But I've got some eggs frying, and I'm going to top them with a couple of fried eggs each. So that's my beautiful breakfast, and when you break the yolk, it kind of makes a sauce which you then just mix through all of the cauliflower rice, and I kind of end up cutting the egg into little pieces and folding it all through, and it's just such a beautiful breakfast. And you can increase the fat content by adding in a couple of tablespoons of sour cream or cream as well to go through, whatever you like. Or some avocado would be great too. But yep, that's the breakfast for this morning. Keep watching for loads more low carb, keto friendly breakfast ideas. Today for breakfast I'm making a 3-cheese omelette. So I've got Parmigiano Reggiano, mozzarella and Emmental, and I'm going to make a 3-cheese omelette. I love cheese omelettes for breakfast. They're one of my favorites. So I'm going to get on and whisk up some eggs, get my omelette cooking, and then pop in my 3 cheese options. Okay, I've got a bowl, I've got some eggs handy. Now I'm going to make a 3-egg omelette with 3 cheese. So we've got 1 egg going in, 2 and 3. I'm making it just for me, so I'm just going to whisk those up. I like to add a bit of milk or cream in. I've got a bit of milk going in, just makes it nice and creamy, and give it a final whisk in. Perfect. So it's time to melt butter in the frying pan. I've got heaps of butter melted in the frying pan. Pan is nice and hot, so we'll pour in our egg and make our omelette. So I do that by just letting it set a bit and moving the inside out, the outside in, until I'm ready to add in my cheese. I tend to move that hardened bit out and get inside a little bit of the runny egg until we've got a nice omelette forming. I feel that's pretty ready for my cheese now, so I'm going to start with the mozzarella and put a nice generous couple of tablespoons of mozzarella in, followed by the Parmigiano Reggiano, and a couple of teaspoons of that one. This is going to be so yum and cheesy and flavorful. You can of course choose whichever cheese you like. I've just gone for these three. Couple of teaspoons of the Emmental, and that is going to be one cheesy omelette. And when you feel happy that it's solid enough, you can just gently flip it over. I make a bit of a mess of mine, but I don't mind. It ends up being so nice and cheesy everywhere. So that is my omelette. I'm going to give it a sec on that side and flip it over and just get it cooked all through. How lovely does that look? So now we're going to attempt to flip it over. Oh, there we go. And you can see it's nice and crispy. That cheese kind of oozes through and gets so crispy, kind of like a grilled cheese, just deliciousness. So I only use a little bit more, and then I'm going to move it off into a plate. And there it is in all its beauty, the cheese omelette, and I tend to serve it with a big couple of handfuls of spinach because the richness of the cheese just needs something a little fresh, and I find some spinach is perfect for that. But that is my 3 cheese omelette. Keep watching for more yum keto breakfast ideas. I've got a really indulgent breakfast today. We've got steak. Look at the beautiful Irish Angus strip loin steaks, and I've got mushrooms and eggs. Now, as you'll see from the rest of the breakfast this week, I'm not a huge meat eater usually in the morning, but I make an exception when I feel like a big steak. And I knew this morning I wanted to make a big steak for breakfast, so yesterday I went out and got this beautiful Irish steaks, and I'm going to make mushrooms to go on the side and fried eggs, and it's a super indulgent, not have very often breakfast, but I'll show you how to put it together. I'm going to start by seeing to my mushrooms. I'm going to chop a whole lot of mushrooms up, fry them up until they're golden. Mushrooms are on the frying pan. I've got some butter melting over there. I'm just going to keep adding more butter along the way, pop a bit of salt on top, and just let them cook until they're completely cooked. So I've opened up the packaging for the steak, popped a bit of salt on both sides. Just going to let it come up to room temperature. That will result in absolutely beautiful steaks. And mushrooms are almost done, and then we'll move on. Those mushrooms look pretty perfect to me now. I often add a couple of tablespoons of cream to make a creamy mushroom sauce. This morning I just feel like enjoying them beautiful and flavorful like that. So move them into a bowl, and then what I like to do is just pop on a lid, and it keeps them nice and warm and keeps the heat while I season my steaks and eggs. So I've got the steaks here. I'm going to melt a bit more butter in the frying pan, and for this size, for these steaks, I'm going to cook them 5 minutes aside and then let them rest. Okay, I've melted more butter in the frying pan. Make sure it's really nice and hot, and then we'll pop the steaks in, and we know it's sizzling hot. And we're just going to cook those 5 minutes and then flip them over. Steaks have been going for 5 minutes. Time to flip them over and cook them for a final 5 minutes. Oh, don't they look amazing? They smell pretty amazing too. Okay, they've had another 5 minutes. They're pretty perfect. Steaks are resting. It's so important when you make steaks to let them rest for at least half the amount of time they were cooking for. So a good 5 or so minutes. Give me time to fry up the eggs, and we've got the mushrooms here keeping nice and warm, so it all comes together quickly, this really indulgent breakfast. Got some eggs frying up, 3 for my husband, 2 for me, and once they're done I'll plate everything up together. And that's my completed breakfast plate. How amazing does that look? Perfectly cooked steak, eggs, mushrooms. This is truly an indulgent, definitely not every day or even every week kind of breakfast. It's just a once in a while when I just feel like a nice beautiful portion of meat. This is what I have. So that is today's breakfast. Keep watching for a few more easy keto breakfast ideas. Today I'm making a breakfast casserole. I'm going to have my zucchini, I've got feta, some onion, keeping it really simple. I've got a sizzling frying pan behind me. I'm going to cook up the zucchini and onion to start off. It's good to just pre-cook all those veggies, get them starting to brown, and then we'll move them into our casserole dish. dish and move on to the next step. I am happy with that. Let's move it into the casserole dish and we'll mix through the feta. And there you go, you can see it's all mixed through. Veggies, feta, you can really mix and match any ingredients you like. You could add some spinach, mushrooms, cauliflower, broccoli. Really, the options are endless. You could also add in some meaty breakfast options, you can pre-cook a bit of bacon or sausages, really anything. I just want a vegetarian one, so I've got some feta, zucchini, onion, just keeping it really simple. And now we'll whisk up some eggs to pour over it all. Okay, I've got 6 eggs. I'm pouring in 1/3 of a cup of cream. We'll just whisk through until smooth. But that is whisked and beautiful, and now I'll just pour them over our veggies. Pour it all over. And now my oven is preheated to 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, and this is going to go into the oven for 20-25 minutes. I'm just going to have a look at 20 minutes, see how it's looking. And you could top it with some more cheese. A bit of Parmesan or grated cheese will go lovely on top. Add salt, pepper, any seasoning that you want. But let's pop it in the oven and I'll show you what it looks like when it's ready. Look at that, it's come out the oven. It looks beautiful, so golden on top, and all those flavors mixed in together, and it's just such a, again, indulgent breakfast. So yeah, that's today's video. Couple more to go. Keep watching for more keto breakfast inspiration. And for breakfast this morning, I'm making a tuna breakfast scramble. I've always been a fan of tuna melts, and this is kind of a scramble that's tuna and cheese and just so good. So I've also got some onion that I'm using in my breakfast, so I'm going to saute a bit of onion and then add the tuna, some spinach, and then whisk up my eggs with some cream and make a big scramble for breakfast. Got butter melting in a frying pan, and I'm just going to saute the onions to get them to soften. And while the onion is softening, I'm just going to whisk up my eggs. So I've got my 5 eggs here. I just added a couple of tablespoons of cream, and we're just going to whisk it so it's ready to go when we're ready for it. And there you go. Perfect. Starting to get a bit of colour on the onion. Add a little bit more butter, and now I'm going to add in my tuna and spinach. There we go. Tuna and spinach is in there, and we'll just give it a toss around. And we'll cook it until the spinach is reduced and the tuna's heated through. Just heating through the tuna and the spinach until all that liquid is evaporated out. And then we'll add in our eggs and then finally our cheese. It's all one at a time. I'm happy with that. It's time to pour in our egg mixture. Pour in the egg mixture and we scramble it through. And it's at about this stage that we want to now add in our cheese. And just add as much cheese as you like, any type you like. I like it extra cheesy. And then just scramble it till you've got a cheesy tuna scramble deliciousness. And yeah, you can add any cheese you like and just scramble it away, and it's kind of tuna and cheesy and oh, so good. And it's done. Still got it in the frying pan just to show you how amazing does it look. All of those flavors work so well together, and it's super cheesy. Look at that. Such a yum, easy keto breakfast. So keep watching. We've got just a couple more to go. For breakfast this morning, I'm making a halloumi fry up. So I've got my halloumi here. You can use any cheese that you like that fries up. I've done it before with feta, paneer cheese, really anything that you can fry up, or of course you could use bacon or sausages, really anything for a fry up, but I like this as a vegetarian fry up. And I've got my eggs. I'm going to have tomatoes and spinach. I find that both of those ingredients kind of cut through the richness and saltiness of the halloumi and just make a perfect fry up. So step number 1, I'm going to chop up my halloumi and get it frying. I've chopped the halloumi into little battens, sticks of halloumi, melting some butter in the frying pan, and we're going to cook our halloumi until they're golden. There you go, pan's nice and hot, the halloumi is in, and I'm just going to keep cooking it until it's golden on all sides. Just keep flipping it around, add more butter if I think I need it, but yeah, just going to cook the halloumi till they're beautiful and golden on every single side. There you go, my halloumi is cooked beautifully, look, golden all over, just to my liking. And now I'm going to move on and quickly cook up the veg. We've got some tomatoes and spinach, melt a bit more butter in the frying pan and just get them cooked until they're golden and reduced down. There you go, no time at all, spinach is wilted, tomatoes are blistered, let's move them onto a plate. My breakfast is coming together nicely. We've got the tomato and spinach, halloumi. Now we've just got a space missing, waiting for some eggs. There we go. We've got 2 eggs frying up in the frying pan, and they'll take just a minute or so to cook from the heat of the pan, and then my breakfast will be ready. And how pretty does this completed plate look? We've got the crispy fried eggs, the beautiful crispy halloumi, and spinach and tomatoes, making this beautiful low-carb breakfast today. So keep watching. We've got one more easy keto breakfast idea to go. And for the final breakfast number 7 of the week, I'm going really indulgent with scrambled eggs and smoked salmon. But not just any scrambled eggs. I'm making Irish scrambled eggs. I've been in Ireland almost a year now, and I made these right at the beginning of my journey here. And yeah, I thought I'd make Irish scrambled eggs, have them with smoked salmon, and make a lovely indulgent breakfast to finish off my week. So to start off with, we're going to make the Irish scrambled eggs. And how we do that is melting butter and cream together in the frying pan, adding in the whisked eggs, and it creates the most beautiful creamy scrambled eggs you will ever experience. So we're going to get started with making them. Got butter melting in the frying pan, and now we're just going to add a few generous tablespoons of cream. I'm just using fresh Irish cream. Use whatever cream you like. Obviously the thicker the cream, the more thick and luxurious your scrambled eggs are going to be. So we really just want to heat that through, and then we're going to add in a whole lot of whisked eggs. The cream is heated through. I've got 5 eggs I've whisked up there, and you can see all that creaminess slowly seeps into the eggs, and it's just a matter of very slowly scrambling them until you've got perfect scrambled eggs. And now these are going to be the absolute creamiest scrambled eggs you have ever had. See, it really doesn't take long at all for them to take shape. If you want to extra creamy, if you do it over a low heat, and if you're patient, it does take a long time, but I tend to be more impatient and do mine more over a medium heat. But it's up to you. The slower the eggs cook, the creamier they are. And you'll see in no time at all they kind of take their shape, and once they are perfectly done, we'll move them onto our plate. You can see how luxurious and creamy those are. Yeah, they're pretty much done. Depends how creamy and runny you want them, or more solid. There we go. That is perfect. I'm going to move them off to a plate now. And that is my final breakfast for the week. How generous am I? With a smoked salmon, I know. You could have some avocado or spinach or any other greens as well if you want, or add some sour cream or a little bit extra cream if you want some bit more creaminess. It's totally up to you. But that is a perfect breakfast to end this week of 7 easy keto breakfast ideas. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and leave a comment too. Let me know what's your favorite indulgent breakfast that you just love to enjoy. This week I've shared mine, and yeah, that's quite a nice breakfast to end the week with. And remember to check down below for the blog post where I list all of these so you can pin, bookmark, save whenever you feel like an indulgent, easy keto breakfast idea. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.